you imagine being part of something so big, so successful, but feeling like what you did didn't matter? Must have felt very lonely.
Yeah, they were young, right? Just starting out and suddenly caught up in this huge thing. It makes sense that they maybe didn't have the experience or the right people around them to handle it.
It makes you think if they had someone looking out for them, someone who knew the business, maybe things would be different, right?
Exactly right. Having someone in your corner who gets it, who understands contracts, publicity, all that, especially when you're new to the industry, it makes a world of difference.
And now with this new Blair Witch movie they're talking about, it just adds a whole other layer to this.
Definitely brings back all those questions about money and recognition, right? It's like the actors are saying, hey, remember us? We helped start this whole thing, and now there's a new movie. Shouldn't we be part of it? Shouldn't we, benefit from it?
That's a really good point, and it goes beyond this one film. It's a bigger question about who owns the story, especially in a movie like this one, where so much came from the actors themselves. Their real lives almost became part of the movie, right?
You're right. It really challenges how we think about what it means to create something. Where do we draw the line? When does something stop being inspired by and become, taking advantage?
And all this talk about the actors, what about the directors, Eduardo Sanchez and Daniel Myrick? Where do they fit into this whole thing? Did they get a better deal?
Yeah, people don't always think about that part of the story. They did get paid more than the actors, sure. But from what I've read, it wasn't some crazy amount of money that changed their lives. And once the movie became a hit, it sounds like the studio kind of pushed them aside a bit.
Really? So even the guys who came up with the idea for the Blair Witch Project didn't really cash in. That's surprising.
Yeah, it shows that even when you're the creative force, the money people, the business side, they can still have all the power, especially when a film takes off like that.
This whole story, it's like a warning sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
It shows the downsides, even when things are successful in Hollywood. Everyone wants a piece of the pie, but sometimes the people who baked it don't even get a slice.
Yeah, the Blair Witch Project is a perfect example of that. And it shows that whole mix of art and money, reality and make-believe, they're not always separate.
And sometimes blurring those lines can hurt people.
Absolutely. The filmmakers, they tapped into something real, something scary and disturbing that really got to people. But trying to make it so real, it came with a price for the actors. They were living the story they were filming.
It's like the movie. It became a curse for them, in a way. This thing that made them famous, but also brought them a lot of pain and frustration.
That's a really interesting way to put it. The Blair Witch Project, it's not just a movie, it's something that affected the people who made it in ways nobody could have predicted.
It really makes you think about what it cost to create a phenomenon like that, the real cost.